Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Monday Positivity. My name is Parul, and today we're going to talk about something that's fundamental to maintaining our mental and emotional well being. But before we do that, if you're a returning subscriber, welcome, and if you're a new subscriber, welcome. And please consider subscribing by hitting that subscribe button. And today we are actually going to talk about setting healthy boundaries. And I wanted to talk about this topic because I think boundaries are often misunderstood and they are also often overlooked. But I think they are also a crucial part of self love and personal growth. They help us protect our energy because we only have, limited energy. Like we are not, it's not like you can play all day or you can work all day. So we have to, protect our energy. We have to maintain our mental health and, build healthier, more respectful relationships in life. Um, so let's talk about why setting boundaries is important and how we can start implementing them in our, life. And so first, I want to, talk about the concept of boundaries because boundary means like a limit, right? So boundaries are the limits we set to protect our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. And boundaries define what we are comfortable with and what we are not comfortable with. And they also help us communicate our needs and expectations clearly to others. And there are different types of boundaries. There are physical boundaries, and these are like related to your personal space and your physical touch. And there are emotional boundaries. They are concerning how we manage our emotions and how we can protect ourselves from emotional harm. Then there are mental boundaries. They involve our thoughts and beliefs and how to protect from undue influence or manipulation. And then there are time boundaries, which is all about how we manage our time, how we prioritize our responsibilities. But why are boundaries so important? Let's talk about that. And instead of boundaries, let's talk about why setting healthy boundaries is important, right? Because some people see boundaries also as a way to, it's a way to ghost someone, right? Like you just completely, go quit, just quit talking to them or quit the something, cold turkey. So I'm talking about healthy boundaries, right? Now, why that important? Why they are the key to self-love? For number of reasons. The number one reason is boundaries help you protect your well-being. Boundaries help you protect your emotional and physical health. When you have clearly defined boundaries, when you define clearly this is acceptable, this is not acceptable, you can always avoid overextending yourself and you can prevent burnout, right? So they help you in a way protect your well-being. And then they also foster respectful relationships because when you set boundaries, you also communicate your needs and your limits to others, which fosters mutual respect. Healthy boundaries also make sure that they ensure that your relationships are based on understanding and respect rather than exploitation or manipulation or misunderstanding. And when you actually start setting these boundaries out of respect for yourself and love for yourself, it enhances your self-esteem. Setting and maintaining boundaries, it reinforces your self-worth and confidence. It also shows that you value yourself and you're not willing to compromise your needs or well-being for the sake of pleasing others. And in the process, it reduces your stress and anxiety. Clear boundaries help you manage your responsibilities and interactions with others more effectively, and this reduces feelings of overwhelm and it helps you maintain a more balanced and peaceful state of mind. And once you are calm, you know your self-worth, you are confident in yourself, it helps you promote your personal growth. Boundaries actually encourage you to reflect on your needs, your desires, your goals, leading to greater self awareness and leading to personal growth. They help you understand what you truly value, what you truly want, and how you want to live your life. Now that you know why boundaries are so important, let me also talk about how you can set healthy boundaries, right? Because I know setting healthy boundaries can be challenging, specifically if you are a beginner and you are not used to it. So let me share some practical tips to help you start with the concept of setting boundaries, help you establish and maintain healthy boundaries. So the first step is always self awareness. You need to know your needs and you need to know your limits, right? When I talk about limits, it means like some people, again, like I said, maybe some people have lots of energy, but some people, they just don't have the energy to engage with everybody or to, be social butterfly. So you need to know, and this is very, uh, very simple example. You need to take some time to reflect on your needs, your limits, areas where you may feel overwhelmed or uncomfortable. Understanding these aspects of yourself will help you set clear and effective boundaries. And you also need to pay attention to recurring situations where you feel stressed all the time, where you feel like somebody is taking advantage of you. These areas actually indicate where you need to set stronger boundaries, right? So the first step is always self awareness, reflect, self reflection, right? And once you understand yourself, once you understand, okay, these situations or these people drain my energies. After this event, I feel drained. I don't feel comfortable doing this or doing that or talking about this, talking about that. Once you know it all, so you are self aware, now you need to communicate clearly, and communication is the key. I think when setting a boundary, you have to communicate assertively. You don't have to say you did it or you do that. You can always use I statements to express your needs, right? So you are not placing blame on the other person. You can always say, I need some quiet time to recharge. I will be stepping away from this situation, or let's say from my phone. If let's say you are talking to somebody on the phone, so I'm stepping away from my phone for the next hour, right? So and again, if the other person is also like in the receiving mode, like they are receptive, you can talk to them about the concept of boundaries, right? Like um, whatever is comfortable for you. And then you have to be consistent. Consistency is the key to maintaining boundaries. If you set a boundary, make sure to stick to it and reinforce it as needed. And that leads me to my next tip, which is to practice assertiveness. Because sometimes, we set boundary in one situation and then in another situation, we are not able to set boundary because we are not assertive enough. We are not able to stand up for ourselves. So you have to respect yourself enough to be assertive, or stand up for yourself in a respectful manner, not in an aggressive manner. And again, you need to practice being assertive. You need to practice expressing your needs confidently without being apologetic, right? And also you should be always be prepared for a pushback, because I didn't earlier, when I started working with the concept of boundaries, I was not aware that there will be resistance also, because I thought maybe if I can communicate my boundaries to others, they will be respectful, they will understand it. Not everybody is like that. So you should be ready to handle pushback also. Be prepared for resistance, be prepared for pushback from others. I'm not saying in all situations, but in some situations it can happen. And in those situations, you have to stay firm in your boundaries, and you have to remind yourself that setting boundaries is about protecting your well-being. It's not about pleasing others. If you don't feel like giving, you don't have to give reasons, right? So that's another part of being assertive. You have to be assertive enough, respect yourself enough. And then you have to set limits on your time and energy, right? So make time for activities that nourish you, avoid overcommitting yourself, learn to say no when necessary. You can also, for me, like what works the best is, because I'm a projector in human design. So And I used to work well with schedules, but sometimes I also want to change them. I was diving deeper into this concept, and I learned that based on my personality type and projector, everybody is different. So based on that, like, I work well when I can also change my schedule, right? So usually, like, if I can create a schedule early on, that helps me a lot. And I think that also works well with boundaries. So you can use a planner, you can use a digital calendar to manage your time effectively, to manage your energy effectively. And you can also make sure that you are allocating time for relaxation and self-care also, right? If you can create a schedule. And if you are still struggling with it, you can always talk to a therapist. You can consider seeking support from a counselor. They can help you develop strategies. And I talk about, different strategies on this channel, different strategies, that can help you set healthy boundaries, that can help you be, that can help you improve your self-esteem, self-confidence, and, improve uh, to help you have, like, self-love, because it all starts from there. So I'll keep sharing those strategies, but I think talking to a therapist or a counselor is a very good step if you want to take, because they can help you a lot to navigate challenging situations. And you can always, join sport groups also. You can connect with like-minded people who are, working on boundary setting. And I also again want to, like, in my last episode also, I gave few examples. I want to give you two examples here as well to help you understand the concept of boundaries. uh, you know I always try to, make things easy for people, or the complex topics, complex subjects. So let's say you are feeling overwhelmed at work because, you are constantly being asked to take on extra tasks. Now, you can set clear boundaries with your colleagues, with your manager, with your boss, and you can tell them that, these are my needs. I cannot, I cannot overwork, and if I'm able to, rest and give time to myself, I can able to manage workload more effectively. So communicating, at least, because I talked about this also in my, my, if you check my playlist on career tips and money management, I talked about, workplace struggles of highly sensitive people. We usually, we are afraid of speaking to the authorities about our needs, and I think that's very much needed in today's world. And not just for highly sensitive people, I think for anybody, there should be open communication, because when the person is, well rested and also feels like, they can share their views, there is open communication, they can be more productive, right? So if you can communicate with someone at your workplace, communicate, it will reduce your stress level, because you are able to, communicate your need. And based on that, based on the response, you can always manage your time, right, and be more productive. And another example could be, now again I like to use, uh, these names. So let's say there is a guy named John, and suppose, like, he's spending time with his friend, and he noticed that he was feeling drained after spending time with a friend, and the reason is because the friend is often criticizing him. So John decides to set a boundary by limiting the amount of time he spends with this friend, and he has decided to focus on relationships that uplift and support him, right? That's another example of setting a boundary. Now, it's up to the person, if you are close to the person, and because not everybody is ready to change. So if you think the other person will understand, you can always communicate your boundaries, like, I don't like the way you talk to me or the way you treat me. If you think it's not gonna work, talking to them will not change their behavior, then it's always, um, you don't, I always say, like, you don't have to give an explanation, just, whatever works for you, whatever, feels good, however you can protect your energy, just go with that. Your mental health, your well-being is more important, your physical health also. These things are more important. Yeah, but if like communication is good, but not everybody is ready to communicate, so you can, based on that, you can decide. And like I gave you this example also, you can set a boundary by limiting time spent with the person, right? So these were like a few tips on setting boundaries for self-love. And I hope this episode has helped you understand the importance of setting healthy boundaries and has also inspired you to implement them in your life. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, they're about creating space for yourself and fostering relationships built on respect and understanding. Okay? And if you found this episode helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more content on self love and personal growth. Don't forget to check out the links in the description box for more such episodes. Until next time, protect your energy, honor your needs, and keep sipping that positivity. Take care.